Hey there everybody, how's it going today? I'm bringing you a review of Montezuma's Extraordinary Chocolate, and this is the Butter Nutter Edition. Something I'm very excited about because I love peanut butter and I love chocolate, so those are, two things that when they're mixed together, I'm a big fan. Normally, I'm always a big fan of something that's, a peanut butter chocolate. You can't really go wrong with that, in my opinion, and that's maybe divisive. Some people don't like it. I love it. So here we are. Montezuma's. This is a chocolate bar that's been catching my attention in the supermarket for quite some time, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet, just because the price point is a little bit above what I'll typically be paying for something, maybe in the higher end section of the supermarket chocolate. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a higher end chocolate or anything like that, but kind of competing in there with the Lints and kind of position themselves to be what we think of as a little bit higher end. Obviously, there's a lot more things that are really, really high end that you wouldn't be typically seeing in supermarkets. That makes perfect sense. That's not going to make sense for the supermarket. That's occupying shelf space. It just doesn't make any sense. But that's obviously something for another video or something like that, because that's a whole other topic. But yeah, kind of position the higher end of the supermarket brands, and I was pretty excited about it, and I was excited about it because of the packaging. I really like when a company has taken the time and put effort into their packaging. It looks good, and I wanted to try it. But yeah, it's been on discount today, so that was kind of what really brought me in and said, you know what, I'll give this a shot. It was 20% or so. I paid £1.75 for it, typically priced at £2.60. That's what it's going to be on the website, or $2.59, but round up, it's $2.60. But it seems that they've got discounts kind of going across the board there for that. I would imagine that the current situation has made things a little bit difficult. So yeah, discount is a good opportunity for me and for you to try something new that you might like. But yeah, like I said, the packaging, quite good. That's what brought me in, sucked me in the first place. Name I'm a little bit questionable about that. It just makes me, kind of rings bells of, like Montezuma's Revenge. Some kind of, terrible disease I'd catch in the Amazonian rainforest while I was, trekking through. But it's chocolate. We're not going to take things that deep, I suppose. Now, their branding and packaging is, I would imagine, a large part of kind of what they're trying to do here, which is, important. But it does make me wonder whether or not, they're maybe putting a lot more money into the packaging and the marketing than they are the actual chocolate itself. And it's that is one concern of mine with a product like this. You're maybe you're not paying for the chocolate itself. You're paying for the packaging and the marketing, and maybe getting an inferior product for the price point. And another thing that did worry me when I kind of when I brought this home and had a deeper look through the packaging and everything like that was this phrase right here now that says, founded in 2000, obviously been around for 20 years or so, and they've worked to set a principles that we call trading fairly. So that's kind of funny language. There's no fair trade certification on here, which means, again, I'm not familiar with the laws and how that might work, but in the past, when I've seen kind of fair trade chocolate and things, there is usually, at least in my opinion, I haven't checked with every fair trade chocolate I've ever had, usually some kind of certification somewhere that, this is fair trade, and that's not on there. So I'm just wondering if they're kind of mincing words a little bit there and trying to kind of pick people up who that does matter to, and of course that should matter to people. That's an important thing, but I'm wondering if they're not being a little bit questionable about that. Again, I don't know. That's something to do some research into, but I'm not sure if those questions will be easy to answer. But yeah, that's just one thing that stuck out to me. A founding pair, husband and wife, fed up with corporate life, and he decided to start a chocolate company. I mean, it's quite cool, of course, but it's a bit cliche. But fair enough, good for them. They've obviously built a successful business here. But again, they're actually coming from a legal background, which is two lawyers, which is funny, which about this language as well, because that makes me wonder. They obviously have that kind of background, so that's one way to mince words. But of course, I probably shouldn't bring my cynicism into the realm of chocolate. That's maybe going a bit too far, but here we are. It's Montezuma's Revenge, the Butternutter, and like you can see here, I've already ripped into it. Already tried a little bit. Had a catastrophic technical failure in my first attempt at this video, and so I've already tried some, and we'll try a little bit more. You don't need to convince me twice to do that, and yeah. So it comes in this little wax paper, kind of. It's quite nice paper, really. Again, that kind of plays into what my thoughts were about their overall product quality versus packaging quality. Maybe a little bit in that question. I don't know how much this, but I would imagine that wax paper that feels quite quality is not a cheap thing to do, but. It's all based here in London as well, which is that's a cool thing as well. They've actually got a shop on Liverpool Street for those of us that are in London or go to London regularly. You can visit the shop. I haven't been there myself, but I'll definitely put that on my list for when things kind of loosen up a little bit and get a little bit better, easier to go around and everything. So worth a trip down there to Liverpool Street and have a look there. So yeah, and you take it out of the rice paper, simple enough. It's come in this nice thing, as you can see there. I didn't do a very clean break for my first attempt, but it's got these nice kind of stamped in crowns, quite cool. I guess shout out to their British heritage, which is nice. It is a very very well rounded bar on the back. What you would expect. But yeah, it's a good-looking chocolate, and that's important, aesthetically pleasing, which I always like. But another note on the side of things, I mean, it does kind of look like one of those things where maybe you're a bit rushed, you've forgotten the anniversary, and you're picking up the supermarket flowers, and you don't want the other part of your gift to look like it comes from the supermarket. So Montezuma's doesn't look like you could buy that in the store, but well, anyways, you can. And we'll try a little bit more. Kind of go back over my first impressions and everything. It's nice, and it's kind of got a peanut butter filling, a bit Reese's-esque, and I like it. I do like it. It's very sweet, and that's not something that I would expect from a higher end chocolate. It's very sweet, which is it's good, but for that price tag and everything involved, I just I don't know if I could give it a total vote of confidence. But whilst it's on discount, I would definitely give it a shot if you see it at the store. It's worth it if you're if you like kind of exploring new things and different chocolates that maybe you haven't tried before. It's worth a shot. It looks nice, and overall, I'd probably give it. Depending on the price points coming out, if I was paying $2.60 for this, I can't say I would give it more than a 6 out of 10. But for the $1.75 while it's on discount, I suppose I could give this a 7.5 out of 10. And I do think that's fair and that's reasonable. But just really what it comes down to, I think, in my opinion, is a lot of marketing budget. And obviously questions about this trading fairly thing. That's going to be kind of my biggest hang up about Montezuma's extraordinary chocolate. Can't say it's truly extraordinary, but I'd be open to trying some of their other offerings as well. Doesn't seem that peanut buttery to me. But it's okay. But again, it really comes down to the price tag there, that I'm not going to be investing the full $2.60 every time to go out of my way to get Montezuma's or anything like that. Where it's priced alongside of Lindt, Tony Chocolonely, and in my opinion, those are overall much better offerings for a similar price point. And so I'd go with those, and especially on that note with the Tony Chocolonely, that's something that's much more certified in the kind of the fair trade department, and that's something that they go above and beyond for. So again, I guess final decision, stick with that rating. But if they could kind of answer, or if I could get any answers about the fair trade side of things, then that would really clear things up for me, and I think kind of edge things either in a higher direction or much lower down if that was kind of a slippery marketing tactic there. But it's a decent chocolate. Probably wouldn't buy it again though, if I'm honest.